So is advertising on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere else worth it for growing your YouTube channel?
In this video, we're gonna be sharing 5 tips and considerations coming up.
Hey, what's up guys? Sean here.
Benji here.
And this is Video Influencers, helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online video.
And on this channel, we do weekly tips and trick videos as well as interviews with other YouTubers. So if you haven't yet, consider subscribing.
So Fantastic5 asks, do you feel advertising on YouTube is worth it? Are there other ways to advertise?
Now, to be clear, we want to define what advertising on YouTube means. These are the ads you see in the top right corner of your screen on the view page, or the commercials that play before the videos that you watch. The one thing that I want to share with you guys about why this is such a significant question is pay to play. Some of you guys might have heard this term from other creators. What this means is you need to pay for ads to be able to play on the platform. This has been the case on Facebook, and what I mean is if you're not paying for ads, your content could get throttled down and not being exposed to your followers. On YouTube, this is becoming a thing because the way to look at it basically is when an ad puts your video in front of somebody, it pushes out organic content on search, on the view page, on suggested videos, and it's so important to at least consider it and understand that this is happening on so many platforms.
100%. And I know this can kind of be frustrating, but let's put this in perspective. You would never assume that you could get a free TV commercial on your favorite TV show that's playing later tonight. However, on social media, sometimes we have this idea like it should be free forever. And so we have to keep in mind that it's up to these platforms and that they need to make money. They have a business model. And so ads are becoming more and more relevant, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's Instagram ads, whether it's Facebook ads, and all of these platforms. So before we get into the tips, there's a couple things to know. The first thing is that advertising and marketing will actually never really help bad content or a bad product. Sometimes that we might want to pay for ads, but we actually need to work on our product, our business, our YouTube channel first. And so we really recommend focusing on organic growth first, really having proof of concept. Are you getting traction? Are you getting some impact? And then advertising is kind of like gasoline. Start the fire on your channel with your brand, with your business first, and then ads are like pouring gasoline on it. But if you don't have a fire going, and we go out right now into Benji's driveway, pour gasoline just on the ground, nothing's gonna happen. It's not gonna light anything. So usually good advertising needs to be added to great content.
Tip number 1, YouTube ads are gonna be great for sales, but not necessarily for getting subscribers. And this is why. Number 1, if you don't have a lot of money to spend, you're gonna have to figure out how those ads are gonna be paid for. So if you don't have a product or service that you're selling, the conversion's not gonna happen, you might be wasting a lot of money, especially if you're new to ads. So that's my first tip for using YouTube ads.
Yeah, and it sounds like with your name, Fantastic5, that it probably wouldn't be good for you to answer your question specifically. Whereas if you have a brand or you have a business and you're driving sales to a product, you're trying to get conference registrations, definitely pay attention to YouTube ads.
Tip number 2. Facebook ads. Now, this is an additional way to advertise beyond YouTube, and why I like it is because it works. You know, people have been advertising on Facebook for a very long time. I utilize the advertising tools on Facebook, and what I like is it shows up much more organically than a commercial before your video or the static ad on the top right of the corner, and it just shows up in people's timelines. And if you do it correctly and you put out great content within the ad, it can be a way not only to convert into sales, but also grow your brand.
Yes, and so I think that Facebook ads is something that every influencer should be paying attention to. I know Benji and Judy, they're doing this. Recently, I went to CES for my tech channel, uploaded a YouTube video that I post on YouTube, but also did a Facebook version. Just didn't say subscribe at the end, a couple other things, and then paid $100 to boost it on Facebook. The reason why is I just wanted to meet people. Facebook is the greatest ad platform in human history because there's over 1.8 billion people on the platform, over 1 billion daily active users. And so I boosted that video, spent $100 and reached 110,000 people. Now, it's not that they all became fans. That's how advertising works. It's not that everyone's gonna follow you or like you, but that is exposure. That is insane that for some money, you could get the chance to have somebody figure out who you are, know who you are. And I think that this is important because in marketing, they talk about that people need about 6 exposures to your brand. Nowadays, they say 6 to 12 before they really kind of figure out who you are and know what you're all about. It's like hearing a radio jingle. You hear it once, you're like, no big deal. You hear it 6 times next time you're in the grocery store and you're buying that product. You're not even sure why because you've been exposed to it. And so Facebook ads offer a huge opportunity to grow your influence. And a quick power tip when it comes to Facebook ads is that same principle about adding gasoline to a fire that's already going. We'd really recommend that you would boost Facebook posts that are already performing well because there's a combination of organic reach as well as paid reach, and that's where you can get like the highest value for any money you spend. And lastly there's a lot of people we coach, we consult with that we're helping out, and we're encouraging them to spend like $5 a week, $10 a week, $20 a week. So this can be very affordable and very manageable way to grow your brand, even if you have limited resources.
Tip number 3, utilize the specific targeting options on YouTube. And what I mean by this, like Facebook, there's a lot of options for who you want to target, what kind of audience you want to build. However, what's different about YouTube, and this is why I'm exploring this in addition to what I do on Facebook, is you can actually not only target certain types of video, but you can target certain types of channels and specific videos. This is so powerful as video influencers. Everything we do is based off of video, right? Facebook, there's all types of different content, but on YouTube, it's video specific. And a lot of people, there's a little bit of a taboo on advertising your content against somebody else's content. Well, you know what? People are doing it. So if you're not aware of this, someone else might be advertising in front of your content. So it's totally fair for you to do the same thing, right? If there's somebody with the type of content that a potential viewer is gonna watch that could also be a subscriber to you, you absolutely should be using these tools to be able to target certain viewers of that content to get subscribers for your channel.
Tip number 4 is time versus money. When we're talking about advertising, some of you might be watching and being like, I've got no money at all, but you know what you do have? You probably have time. And so early on, that's how I grew my brand. That's how Benji and Judy grew theirs. There was potentially years of not even thinking about ads. So if that's where you are, that's fine. When you start, you got extra time on your hands so you can hustle and have organic growth. But sometimes life gets busy, you start making some money, you start actually maybe even building a team, and ads make a lot of sense. You have a lot less time, so one of the only ways to a helpful way to keep growing is to start leveraging money because you have more resources. And so in answer to your question for all influencers watching, you maybe want to decide where you are on the scale. If you do have extra resources, ads can help you grow faster and it might be worth investing in.
Tip number 5, test and experiment. Do not be fearful of this thing called advertising. Lots of business people, lots of businesses utilize this and they're winning. They're winning getting people's attention. You absolutely can do this as a creator. And you know what? You don't have to spend a lot of money. When I first started doing this, we're talking like $5 a week, right? And the more you spend, the better you get, the better the results. But the point is, start now, realize this thing called pay to play, people actually advertising and getting in front of organic content is a really important concept to grasp, because if you don't, you might get left in the dust of the unknown versus working the playing field at an even level as everybody else.
Question of the day. Have you tried advertising yet? And what are some of the tips and lessons that you've learned? Let us know in the comment section below. And remember that some of the best tips and advice come from you, the video influencers community. So definitely connect with everybody in the comment section.
Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this video and share this with somebody else that might be learning from this video as well.
Yes, and if you haven't downloaded our free guide with 19 things to do every time you upload a YouTube video, it's completely free. We'll link it up on the YouTube card as well as in the description below, so definitely grab that.
And remember, here on Video Influencers, we're helping build your influence, income, and impact with online videos.
Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon. Ta-ta! Boom! Ching chicka baka boom! I'm from you, the Think Me TV community. All right.